let's get to the tail of the tape for this one. In the featherweight division, a couple of 24-year-olds here. Charles Oliveira and Andy Ogle, 2 inches the difference in height. More pronounced in the reach department, 4 inches the advantage for Charles Oliveira. To get us started, here is Bruce Buffer.
Senhoras y señores do Brasil, bem-vindos! Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Jaraguá do Sul, Brazil, for UFC Fight Night. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 9 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds, 66.2 kilos. Fighting out of Newcastle, England, Andy the Little Axe Ogle. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record, 16 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 143 pounds, 64.9 kilos. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, USA, by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Charles "No Bronx" Oliveira. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
So Mario Yamasaki, our referee. 3 rounds if needed in the featherweight division. The beautiful Jenny Andrade to get us going. In round 1, Andy Ogle. Certainly not a guy who would be fazed by this atmosphere, although it is daunting against that man, Charles Oliveira. Ogle moving forward immediately.
Well, that's where he needs to be effective, on the inside against the much taller and longer Charles Oliveira. And the kicking game of Oliveira, he's possesses excellent Muay Thai. And look at this takedown. Ogle's gonna have to be careful here.
Charles Oliveira with a wide variety of fight-ending techniques. Still the only fighter in UFC history to win a fight by calf slicer.
Now, this is not a good position for Andy Ogle. Oliveira right into the mount now, trying to work that head and arm choke, but he's out. Nice defense from Andy Ogle as he tries to buck Oliveira off.
The book on Andy Ogle is that he is a slow starter, tends to get stronger as the fight goes on, but man, is he game.
He's given up his back early, though, here against Oliveira. Oliveira trying to get that rear naked choke, trying to get that forearm underneath the chin of Andy Ogle.
Charles Oliveira certainly long on elite experience and fighting elite fighters here in the UFC. 24 years old, already his 10th UFC fight.
He's got that body lock around the waist of Andy Ogle. It's a lot of pressure on the back. It's a lot of weight on the legs. It's early on the fight, though, so Ogle doing a good job of defending that rear naked choke. Oliveira might be trying to turn this into a neck crank here. Ogle showing excellent defense so far, doing a good job of fighting the wrist, but they're back to the mat. Very tough to escape that body lock position with the legs. Oliveira controlling the waist and hips of Andy Ogle.
So all Charles Oliveira to this point as we cross the midpoint of round 1.
Yeah, Ogle doesn't want to go flat to his stomach here. That will really flatten him out and allow Oliveira to work on that chin and head so he can slide in that rear naked choke. Ogle sitting up very well now, controlling that wrist. See if he can turn and face here, John.
Ogle's a smart fighter, only been stopped once by submission. That was 5 years ago, so very adept at fighting off submissions, but Charles Oliveira will throw a lot of attempts his way here tonight.
Ogle was almost out of it, but Oliveira followed him up to take the back again.
Oliveira trying to work his arm underneath that chin of Andy Ogle.
Oliveira just not able to get that forearm and wrist underneath the neck of Andy Ogle so far. Ogle showing excellent defense and excellent heart here to prevent this rear naked choke from Charles Oliveira.
Oliveira maintaining the figure four and keeping Ogle's back as we approach the 1 minute mark in round one. And I'd imagine defensively, this has got to be pretty exhausting for Andy Ogle.
It is very difficult because you're getting your stomach, your back squeezed. Those are long legs from Oliveira. But Andy Ogle is staying composed. He's not trying to waste a lot of energy. He's just focusing on defending this choke. Now has one hook out, and he can get back to his feet here, John. Oliveira right back with the hooks and now with the body lock around the waist of Andy Ogle.
Charles Oliveira, a guy who tends to favor submission over position. And Andy Ogle hanging tough as usual.
Well, if you're facing Charles Oliveira, you better be ready to defend submissions, and Andy Ogle clearly has done his homework here.
Oliveira trying to get offensive down the stretch here. Kenny, any major takeaway from either corner in between rounds?
Well, you know, they told Oliveira, if you take the back again, open him up with strikes. Utilize those elbows, try to get that chin to pop up so you can take advantage of that choke. And Oliveira going right back to work with a takedown. Ogle out of it.
An important defense of the takedown there for Andy Ogle. Oliveira in on another attempt. And once again on Andy Ogle's back.
Ogle able to get back on top. He's in the guard now of Oliveira. Did not allow Oliveira to take the back early in the round this time. And we've seen Andy Ogle grind out opponents from this position. Now, although Oliveira is clearly the better man on the mat, with good posture, with good positioning, and pressure with your ground and pound, you can take away a man's jiu-jitsu skills when they're on their back, and Ogle knows how to do that very well.
So we'll see what Ogle can get going now, a minute into round two. And Charles Oliveira, very adept off of his back, but very adept at getting up right there as he eats a left hand there from Ogle. And Ogle continues to press forward. And now Oliveira works for the takedown.
Oliveira able to counter that kick from Ogle with the takedown. Ogle trying to make his way over towards the cage so he can cage walk and get back to his feet. Oliveira trying to take away that posture, trying to control that wrist, and Ogle right back to his feet. Excellent job from Ogle to get back to his feet.
Yeah, a little knee there from Oliveira, but Ogle working hard and successfully, as you mentioned, able to get upright. So a much better second round for Andy Ogle, given the way things transpired in round one. But again, as soon as he starts striking, Oliveira able to get things back down.
Beautiful counter to that takedown attempt from Oliveira. Now he's got to be careful with this choke. Oliveira trying to squeeze the neck of Ogle now, has it very tight. And he's got that leg trapped of Ogle. Looks like Ogle's okay right now. And he's out now. It's even more dangerous though. He's trying to re-grip and get a little tighter hold around the neck of Ogle. Beautiful chuck from Andy Ogle as he tries to take the back of Oliveira now.
You really have to admire the heart and the will of Andy Ogle, a very difficult test Really a nightmare matchup in a lot of respects for him, fighting Charles Oliveira here in Brazil, but able to escape once again.
Anytime you count Andy Ogle out, he just comes back even stronger. And again, we talked about his ability to come back stronger and get better as the fight goes on, and that's what he's doing right here. He's adjusting, he's countering, and he's preventing the submissions of a guy who is one of the most dangerous jiu-jitsu practitioners in the UFC. Look at this slam from Andy Ogle.
Slam is there for Ogle, who in both of his appearances in 2013 won the third round against Josh Crispy and against Cole Miller in his last appearance last October. Ogle now in Oliveira's guard.
Nice short elbow from Andy Ogle.
Just always have to be careful against Charles Oliveira, very skilled off of his back as well.
Absolutely. Oliveira trying to attack with a triangle there with those long legs. Andy Ogle recognizes this. You see his posture. He's driving his hips and raising that head high to take away that submission opportunity from Oliveira. Nice left hand from Ogle now.
Quick check on the clock from Ogle.
Look at this, Andy Ogle inside control against the black belt Charles Oliveira.
Oh, big knee there for Oliveira.
Ogle had an opportunity to take the back of Oliveira, lost it, fell forward. And look at this, Oliveira back into the same position that we saw him in the first round.
So it looks like Andy Ogle will survive once again as we move to the third. All right, third and final round now. Charles Oliveira and Andy Ogle.
Ogle doing a good job of smothering the Muay Thai offense of Charles Oliveira. He's been able to get on the inside, but look at this, Oliveira trying to cinch in a rear naked choke, doesn't quite have the angle, and Ogle's back on top. Oliveira attacking with that dangerous triangle choke, and Ogle back to his feet, almost landed a big kick to the head of Charles Oliveira there. Hands were up for Oliveira. That prevented that kick from being devastating there. Ogle just non-stop action.
Surprised at all that Ogle's going for the takedown as opposed to trying to get separation?
No, because he's been pretty successful in the guard for the most part. He's been able to keep good posture, landed some nice short elbows in the second round, and he's hitting these takedowns up against the cage. And when your head is pinned up against the cage, it takes away a lot of your offense from your guard. The head is pinned there, and Ogle keeping very good posture.
Ogle has been cut open on the right side of his head. Leg kick is there for Ogle. Well, and as has been the case with Andy Ogle, really throughout his UFC career, working hard as an underdog to make the favorite work. As we cross the 3.5-minute mark in round 3, the sprawl is there for Ogle.
Nice sprawl there from Ogle as he gets on top of Oliveira again. Excellent scrambles from Andy Ogle. And once again, it's Andy Ogle making adjustments late in the fight to take some control back against the very dangerous Charles Oliveira. He's got the head pinned again, and that takes away a lot of your offense, as I said before, and Ogle now working his ground and pound.
Nice right hand there from Ogle. Not sure why Oliveira looked at Mario Yamasaki, perhaps looking for a stand-up, not sure. So Andy Ogle proven to be game once again. Oliveira trying to land that up kick.
Look at this, Oliveira with the triangle choke. That's very tight now. That's it.
There's the tap. Charles Oliveira, yet another submission win inside the octagon.
The long legs of Charles Oliveira with a beautiful triangle choke. He looked for it a few times in this fight. He cinched it in beautifully. And those legs just squeezed the neck of Andy Ogle. And that was it.
So a quick tap there from Andy Ogle. The submission attempts came fast and furious from Charles Oliveira. He finally gets Andy Ogle to tap.
Here it is, the legs wrapped around the neck of Andy Ogle. A very quick tap. You can see the arm was trapped in there, and those long legs, you're not gonna get out of that once it's cinched that tight.
So make it 5 straight wins by submission for Charles Oliveira, his 10th career by submission, the official decision. When we return, this is UFC Fight Night on Fox Sports 1. All right, back here in Brazil, it is UFC Fight Night, Machida versus Mousasi. All right, the official decision is in. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 40 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by tap out due to a triangle choke, Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira,
who has now finished 16 of his 17 career wins. All right, coming up next, the first of 2